Killa, Kela and Eunice, smoke the hydro. Listen to it on Spotify.
Killa Kela podcast. KillaKelaOfficial.com.
This is the sound of the Killa Kela beatbox body part sample pack. Over 120 loops, samples, and one-shots for your music production. Exclusively on Splice.
Like bleeps.
Yeah, and all that
Sick.
stuff like that.
Sick. Banging.
Yeah, totally. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is. You know where we are. It's the Killa Kela podcast, and we're here with the one and only, one of my favourites, one of the dons, Kiko Bun, inside the place.
Big up, man.
What's it like? Soul kind of reggae influenced. For those that may not have even been on the radar over the last, God knows how long. 2015 you started?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 2014 maybe.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, it's reggae with like bits of hip-hop. I come from hip-hop.
Yeah.
So I used to make loads of hip-hop beats with like an MPC 1000 and stuff, and got loads of blues records at home and jazz and all that kind of thing. I was into like Lord Finesse and, you know, Big L and Mobb Deep and all that kind of stuff. And yeah. And then, you know, that was when I was like 13 or 14, and I gradually started collecting hip-hop, and I remember whenever I heard reggae, I was like, oh, I like that. It does something for me, innit? But I didn't quite know like enough about it. So I started to collect tunes, but I wanted tunes of reggae that, because reggae is like, it's such a big genre, you know, there's so much of it.
Massive.
Yeah, man. And, you know, at first I was attracted to the Rocksteady side of things, which is like, you know, all the love songs from like late 60s, early 70s and that kind of thing. You know, and I found that really sweet, and watching videos of like, you know, the Gladiators recording and the Studio One recordings and how they put the vocalist in a stone room and get all the wicked vocals and that, like, that was so inspiring.
What?
Yeah.
Hold on, so what, they put the vocalist in a stone room?
Yeah. So they record the instrumental rhythm, if you like, separately.
Yeah.
So then they put the vocalist in like, it looks like a stone room, and with like what, like I think it's 2 mics, and they sing it like that much distance, and it's just incredible. You know, that slap delay on it, and it's like, oh mate,
is that the room that does stuff like that?
Yeah. But obviously they like they've got like delay units and all that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got into that, and then I realised there was this thing called roots and dub, and that's what got me, man. Like the roots, proper roots, and like, you know, the more Rastafarian kind of reggae. Yeah. So I started collecting more and more of that, and then I started to sing as well. Like when I was at home alone or whatever, I'd be belting it and see what my voice could do. I always liked to sing, but I never thought I'd become a singer or whatever. But started to learn a few tunes, and then instead of making hip hop tunes, I wrote reggae tunes, and then I had like 2 or 3 reggae tunes. But I fell in love with it. I didn't even want to be like. Basically, I was in a rush with it at the beginning because I was in so much love with it. And I went on Gumtree and typed in reggae, and there was this band looking for a sweet lead male vocal. I remember it said exactly that.
Gumtree.
Yeah. So shout out to Gumtree, man.
Yeah.
Innit. And then
bringing people together.
Yeah, innit. And then I emailed this band and was like, yo, like I've got a couple of tunes, and I sent them the tunes, and they wrote back and went, do you want to come for like a little jam? So we did it. We did a little jam. I met them, and they said, yeah, do you want to be our singer? And I was like, yes. So at that time, it was all covers that we were doing together, but which was cool. Like it got me the experience and stuff in the first like 6 months of being with them. I ended up being with them for 3 years, but after that kind of 6 month period, I wanted to write original shit. Like I wanted beep. I wanted like, you know, the original kind of stuff. So we started to write new tunes, and then on the side of that, you know, we were doing loads of rehearsals. We were chipping in a $5 each. Like, it was about 6 of us at the time. And
in the area around these
Stoke
places?
Newington.
Stoke Newington?
Yeah, they were all like near Manor House and stuff. But there was a place in called Audio Underground in Stoke Newington we always used to meet up. and I used to ride my bike there, in rain or sun.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, I started doing my own thing on the side, as well as the band. So like I kept writing, you know, making like these reggae beats the way I used to make hip hop. So I'd take like a little reggae sample. And I'd put like a beat under it and then add an organ line to it or whatever. I'd take the bass off the frequency and then do the bass like myself or whatever. And I had this sort of template for writing tunes. And then I wrote a tune called Sticky Situation about me flopping in a relationship. Nothing too peak, but like I just wrote it at home one morning. It didn't take long at all. It was quite a natural thing.
I remember this.
Yeah. And I wrote like a minute and a half of this tune, and then I just duplicated the tune again and put an outro. And I put it on SoundCloud, but I didn't have a SoundCloud. Well, I had like a previous hip hop SoundCloud with like a couple of beats on it, whatever. But I wanted to start a reggae SoundCloud and basically become a reggae artist on that day. And I was like, what should I call myself? And so basically my first name is Federico, and I used to smoke a lot of weed, so like Bunn. I was like, Federico's like kind of like Kiko Bun. And I was like, oh, Kiko Bun. And then I just put it up. And the girl that I was with at the time, her cousin had a bar in Brixton called Rosie's or something like that, or like worked there or whatever. And he used to play me in the shop, in the cafe. And his mate, Simon McCulloch, worked at Island at the time as well. And he apparently went, who's this? And Sean was like, oh, Frey's boyfriend. And then that's how it began. But then
Stars,
like... it was mad, wasn't it? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just like that.
For real, yeah, it was mad. But then like a week after that, because I used to work in a restaurant, and we used to play reggae in the kitchen all the time, by the way. Like, it was sick. And then I worked in a record shop. But then, yeah, there was like a week where... I don't want to blow my own trumpet or whatever, but like a few labels got in touch and stuff, and it was all mad for me. Like, I didn't really know what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got management and stuff, and you know, it was a really exciting time, man. And now I'm just like here and like proper happy to be able to do what I love. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
man.
yeah, it was an interesting time.
It's crazy how things like that happen, because when you're doing it, it feels like it. I don't know, the processes of doing it, the reality of it is a lot more slower, but when breaking it down into...
Yeah.
I mean, it's a masterclass in how everyone thinks it happens, really.
Yeah. I mean, I think it can happen in a few ways. I think, you know, you can sort of send stuff out, or... You know, I think word of mouth, like, for a lot of things is the best way, man, because it's kind of like a little secret. It's like, come here. Do you know what I mean? Which is amazing, man. So I think I was just in the right place at the right time, but...
Word of mouth is pretty hard these days, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Because we all got big mouths and we all want all of us social presence to reflect what we're really going through.
Yeah, exactly, man. But yeah, no. So yeah, that was it, man.
You've got like a real soul, like a kind of like neo reggae.
Yeah.
Lovers Rocky kind of sentiment.
Yeah.
You know.
I think I definitely got into the whole Delroy Wilson and like Heptones vibe, and I like it when male vocals sing like in a very high falsetto register for BVs, because the tone is so fat and like warm. So that really inspired me, you know, like when
I love that too.
Yeah, man.
It's beautiful.
Like when I was in the school choir, Mr. Jones, who was like head of music, he kept telling me to sing up. He was like, Fed, sing up. You got a like decent voice, like sing up. I was just like, nah, man, don't want to sing, man. And then as soon as I left school, I found this it sort of just clicked, and I was like, actually, this is really fun, you know what I mean? And yeah. But yeah, I like Rocksteady. And I like funk and soul as well. I kind of like merged the two. I think I used to rap a little bit, and I take like the flow aspect of that and put it with the singing. I kind of like singing around the beat at times and not bang on.
Got kind of like staccato it kind of in the flow.
Yeah, exactly, man.
You never rapped before?
I used to rap a little bit.
I'd imagine so, with the kind of influences the gateway genre that you went with.
Yeah, for real, yeah.
Kind of leans towards you participating, doesn't it, a little bit more than just listening.
Because I think with like hip-hop, what drew me towards the old school was how it sounded so scratchy and like raggedy.
The bottom end as well, always warm.
Yeah, definitely, man. For real, it's like rattling and like quite musical, with the samples and that. And I just wanted more of the musical side, like in terms of notes and like key changes and stuff like that. And I think reggae appealed to me because it kind of had the same sort of timbre, if you like, then incorporating like musical structures like chord progressions and stuff like that. I used to play the violin.
So you were already aware of what potential was.
I knew there was so much you could do with notes, and then reggae kind of showed me that was how you do it for me anyway. Like,
I've got to give it to you. I agree. Like when I first started listening to it, because I grew up in, as a lot of the podcasts suggest, you guys will know that I was like into my like drum and bass, where it'd be like breakdowns and build-ups, or with like thrash or metal, it'd be like, well, there's chord changes, definitive like horror music-esque style chord changes. But with hip hop, I struggled with it when I first started. I loved the rap flow. I loved the punk ethic of rapping about what you're going through. I used to love all that.
The storytelling.
Man. But the structure of it was so linear. It took me a minute just to kind of, what's it all about? I remember being 13 or 14 going, what the fuck is it all about?
Yeah, for real. Yeah, man. I think it's quite fun to kind of make reggae in a hip hop way as well. But I started, when I signed my deal, me and my team helped me get a band together, and from that, I've worked with them in the studio and made stuff from the ground up without any samples, and I've really been able to create stuff like from the mind and like from scratch, and I love telling stories as well. It's one thing this girl I was telling you about that I'm kind of seeing a little bit. Yeah. She said to me on the phone the other day, she was like, "Are you gonna write a song about me then?" And I said, "Maybe." And she was like, "Oh, okay, all right." And then we left it at that. And then we spoke again, and she said, "I swear you write songs about a lot of girls though." And I was like, "Yeah, man, but this is Rocksteady, babes. Like it's all about love. Do you know what I mean? Like some of it, most of it is about me and stuff I go through, and I like that happy feely kind of vibe, like summery stuff, as well as the like hard militant dub and roots stuff. But yeah, I also like to make up stories and write about friends' experiences and stuff like that. It's kind of like writing a little story, like a little episode,
Of what when you see, because I've been there, when you're seeing someone go through something, it's actually easy to story tell that rather than your own.
Yeah, because you can see it in front of you. But, sometimes I think it's a lot easier to kind of look at something and then write it rather than have to think back and how you felt and then blah blah. When you can see something, I feel like it can be more you can be more descriptive, especially if the person you're writing about is someone that you care about. And they're going to hear the tune. You want it to be real good.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, man.
But in that same sense, so this particular lady you're dating at the moment, so is that working on the same principle, right?
Well, it would be about my life, yeah.
Yeah. But you'll be writing about her.
I'll be writing about her, yeah. Which is nice. Like, yeah, I think, when you're writing about exactly, someone else, it's a lot it can be a lot sweeter, I think, because it's almost like a gift you're giving someone, you know what I mean? But then it's nice because you can show it to all your fans and and it's even more special like that, so
that's right.
Yeah, man.
It's a fine line, isn't it, when writing a song regarding someone's situation, and like, I don't know, dude, like I don't know. I think there's a heightened expectation, especially when you start dating someone for the first time, of like the songs that you're writing and the things that you're doing, music has a direct reference to them.
Yeah.
Even when it doesn't.
And they can tell as well, like, they'll latch onto things. And I think, sometimes, regardless of how you behave with them and stuff, there might be a situation where you just want to vent. Maybe it's not like a serious thing, or maybe it's kind of like, I don't know, I've written songs about people who I've maybe not fallen out with, but I don't know, like, we all fall out with people, and I write songs and kind of reference it in the song. And there are tunes that I write that I don't want to show anyone because, immediately people would be like, "Oh, is that about me?" Like,
have to wait a couple of years.
Yeah. But it's fun in that. It's like that makes it really fun. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, man.
How do you feel about like reggae as a genre right now? Because as you were saying, like at the top of chat, it was like there's so much of a treasure chest to like dig into because decades and
There's
decades.
so much of it, yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, it goes back to like I don't know, like classical music. It goes way back, way back.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
like, and hip hop can be quite the same as well. If you just jump into it, it's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like,
for real.
how is it now?
Well, I think now it's evolved. Everything just keeps evolving and evolving. I think the whole like dancehall thing is quite similar to grime in that you've got MCs around a microphone and you're passing the mic constantly, and even the way they call the instrumentals rhythms and stuff, you know, it's kind of all trickled down into what we are now. I'm not saying grime is what reggae is today, but it's the same kind of culture. But you know, reggae is happening. You know, there are people like Gentleman's Dub Club, Holly Cook, myself, the Frighteners over in New York, which are amazing. You know, and then you've got people like Prince Fatty, and then the sound systems like Channel One, Reggae Roast are amazing. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, it's good. I think for me personally, I didn't really want to move on in terms of my like the sound. What I'm influenced by is the old stuff. And I when I first got into it, I wanted to create the old stuff. Like I wanted to make the really like
Authentic,
like the really sort of like authentic sounding stuff with like too much reverb on the vocal and like no bass in it, 2K pushed up, like all that kind of stuff.
Lovely.
Yeah. So
Great.
where and when I can do that kind of stuff, that's where I feel like most comfortable. But in this day and age, you know, like, and I do love pop music and stuff like that as well, and you know, a bit of Motown as well. I think you can make a really sort of convincing reggae tune if it's got like the catchiest and most relevant lyric-wise chorus and almost a breakbeat to support it, like an almost Fatboy Slim reggae tune. Like that kind of vibe. Like, you know House of Pain, Jump Around? Yeah. That's got a little skank in it. Innit? Like that kind of vibe, man. Like, you know, I've got tunes like Can't Hold Back, which are like, you know, like proper crossover, like reggae tunes. But I think
that was quite a breakthrough tune.
That was that really like kind of nudged me a bit more into the world, which was quite nice. I was talking to my mate Dom from the Nextmen, who's like one of my good mates.
Shout out to the Nextmen.
Yeah, mate, Done though.
Producers extraordinaire.
Yeah, man, check him out. Yeah, I was talking to Dom, and he said, you know, once you go uncool, you can't go cool again. And I think, you know, what we concluded, what that kind of means is that, like, as an artist, you know, I think there are lots of artists who come from the roots of whatever music they're in. And I think if you not sell out, but like if you just jump to the future with your music, it's a bit more difficult to come back to the cool side.
A bit too quickly.
If you go too quick. I think it's cool to build up and be like a sustainable build up to like wherever you may end up in terms of your musical sound. But for me, like I'm cool taking my time just doing my Rocksteady and like my kind of hip hop reggae or whatever it is that I do. You know, and I am slowly branching out into different influences and stuff. I'm working with a guy called Dan Smith from the Noisettes in Brighton.
I know Noisettes.
Yeah, man. So I'm working a lot with him, and we're doing like a lot of we're doing quite a bit of funk, with that kind of reggae sound. So it's I don't know how to explain it. So it's basically a lot of spring reverb in there, like guitars, bass, like but with a reggae orientation, like with a reggae kind of vibe to it.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's kind of cut from the same cloth. So I'm writing a record with him actually, and you know, some of the tunes might be funk. Some of them might be Motown, a couple ballads in there, some reggae, some roots, some dub as well.
But even that there, it all feels like it works within the same realm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think, especially like his like particular way of working, like his sound. He's got one sound. And out of all the people that I've worked with, like, in my life, I think me and him really click. And, you know, he kind of really gets the sort of not using samples, but making shit sound like they're samples. And, you know, it's all cut from the same cloth, so it all does fit, even though it's not the same genre of music, which is quite interesting, man. Like, you know, so yeah, I'm doing that. But I do think reggae will come back at some point. You know, everything goes round and round and round. Me personally, I think that music right now in the charts isn't my cup of tea. I don't think it's like, well, it's obviously naturally not going to be everyone's cup of tea, you know, but there are big tunes out there and you can tell the musicianship level is mad high. But I think when, like, you know, the Jamiroquai period, when all that kind of stuff was coming out, like Omar, like all that sort of stuff, I think it would be nice for that to come back round so I can have a go.
Oh, bless you. Brother, don't watch that. You're already on flames, man.
I'm joking. But, you know, I think musically it's nice to turn on the radio and, like, hear Corner Shop, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I think there's a resurgence on the way, that's for
Yeah.
sure. Like,
Yeah,
what
man.
else was I talking to the other day? My mate Travis, he was saying, because he's from Texas, right?
Yeah.
Travis Small,
Sick.
big boy
Wicked.
artist, yeah.
Nice.
And he was saying, you know, he appreciates the fact that there's a lot of the same stuff in the UK charts doing what it's doing.
Yeah.
If you narrowed it down to maybe like 3 key acts, you know, the rest of the guys, they're kind of falling in suit with the same samples, the same sounds, the same vocal style, same. And then the next thing, it's kind of like a
Same tempos as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
like-
It's like Lord of the Flies. It's a factory of cookie cutter kind of tunes. But at the same time, what he doesn't realise is like from what I gather from the conversation, I'm
Right.
sure he does realise that up until now, the UK music scene, particularly within like a rap genre, has never had shine like it has now on radio.
Yeah.
Like never had it.
I hear that, man. I think, you know, there are amazing things happening, you know, that I love watching, you know, like the whole grime thing again. And I think trap as well, you know, is an exciting genre as well. It's doing its thing. Pop is amazing, you know. I think it's obviously evolving even more and more to what it used to be. But I think, I don't want to say pop music's better than what it used to be, but I think it's interesting to see the way music is evolving.
It's evolving, yeah, for sure.
You know, but yeah.
It smacks like Kyoko.
Yeah, they're cool, man.
It's kind of guns that are coming in now that have got that specials madness vibe about them, but also have the reggae thing a lot more forefront.
Yeah. Have you heard of General Roots?
Nah.
They're banging, man.
Really?
Shout out General Roots, man.
General Roots. Shout out to Kyoko too.
Innit, big
shout
up.
out to the gang. Yeah.
So yeah, they're real good as well. They work with me and Holly Cook as well. And Chain Scar Brassica are really good as well.
Say that. Oh my god.
Chain Scar Brassica.
What a wicked name.
Innit.
What? Yeah, I love those anagrams of like referred kind of cult
Yeah.
words. Oh, that's awesome.
It's sick, isn't it?
Love it.
Apparently, it's got nothing to do with Chainsaw Massacre.
Liars.
innit. But yeah, no, there's some real exciting stuff happening, man.
All it is I think with a lot of the genre-based stuff is you kind of got to go away to come back. You got to rebrand it, and you got to come with a collective. It's like a forward march, and like, you know, when Wu-Tang came out, I mean, when Wu-Tang came out back in the day, and also like other hip hop things like what's it called, Native Tongue? You remember them? The whole Delar.
Oh yeah.
Tribe, Jungle Brothers. You know, it's a collective effort, and I think when you've got, it's unstoppable once you've got like a squadron of like solid talent.
Exactly. Like I was talking to Josh from the Skints, and big up the Skints. Like,
Big up Skints,
Yeah,
yeah.
man, legends, man. You know, we were talking, and he mentioned a really cool point, and it was that all of us in the UK who are doing reggae, we all know who we are, and it's good to talk to each other, and you know, and keep that relationship between us all, because we are one force. And I think, you know, if there's anything that, you know, if we're gonna do some damage, it's good that we all do it together. You know,
Exactly,
like
man.
you say, man. You know, and I think it is there. You know, and it's doing its thing. And I think, you know, if anyone out there wants to do reggae music, do it, man. Like,
Just jump in.
do it, or whatever music for that matter. Like,
Yeah, man. With social media and, you know, things like Spotify and the like, all those platforms, it's pretty hard not to develop a scene, because you realise how many people there are in the world.
Yeah.
You just got to plug them into the right paths.
Exactly, yeah. And it's all about getting out there and doing like these little gigs in pubs and stuff, you know, because you never know who's going to be there. You might get a couple fans here and there, and then, you know, before you know, you've got people wanting you to play, and, you know, that can really push people to create more and give more to the people, and then that creates a whole little buzz. And yeah, like I remember performing in pubs to like one man with my old band, and then with that band, we slowly got a bigger audience as we went on, and I think we did Secret Garden Party once. Yeah, it was Secret Garden Party in the Rum Bar, and that was like our best ever gig, and it was a really like good moment for us because we kind of we were persistent in the whole journey and like, you know, stuck together and believed in the music, and you know, I think it's all about that, man. It's
kind of hit.
Yeah, we got there on a big stage. We fucking did it, like, and that was enough for me, like, to be like, yo, this is sick, you know, like we've done it. So yeah,
keep on going, innit?
Yeah, mate.
Keep on going. Dub Pistols, that's where we first connected, wasn't it?
Sick. Yeah.
Quick.
Was that Islington?
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Kyoko playing, isn't it?
That's right.
Sick.
That's right. That's what triggered my memory. I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dub Pistols they champion quite a lot of that.
Barry Ashworth for them, man. Yeah, he's a don.
Yeah, he's a don. Yeah, he's a legend.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, totally. You know, he's got the swag.
Yeah, he does.
Isn't he?
He does. Yeah, he's a don, man.
And you've been on road with one of my heroes, Rodigan, man.
Yeah. So I used to work quite a bit with his son, Cadenza, who's Oliver, Jamie and Oliver. And I'm a bit bunged up, guys, but I'm still there,
just for
still
point of
good,
reference, you know, man, he rode here from south of London to north.
Innit?
With a cold. With a bike.
Yeah, for real.
That's dedication for you on a podcast.
That's
level.
it. That's it.
Especially for your ears, and I know it depends where you are in the world.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I worked a bit with him. Made a tune called How Many Times, and then I think it was when I was in General Skank. Mad love to you guys, man. My old band. I did a tune called I Lost My Way that we played, and we recorded it. We re-recorded it in a studio in like Angel, and I can't remember how it happened, but David got hold of a copy of it and played it on his show, and I was like, raw, like that's mad, like that's so sick, like this was
Levels.
a few years ago, yeah, and then that I don't think he realised that I had the name Kiko Bun as a singer, but he did like the vocals, so I was like, this is fucking amazing, like raw, like, you know, that was a dream come true. And then after I signed my deal, he sort of latched onto who I was, and then started playing me on his shows regularly. And you know, every tune that I had out, or he sometimes messages me and goes, "Make sure I get that tune first." So you know,
that's just too much.
Yeah. So I always send him like the tunes first, like if I remember to anyway. There was one time I got in trouble, but that's all good.
But we don't talk about that on this show.
No, it's all good. He's I'd say he's kind of like a mentor for me, man. Like you know, it's really inspiring to be able to chat to him and talk about music.
You're not the first person, right? So I think I'm reciting a couple of podcasts. There's been so many, but Toddler.
Yeah, man.
He's been round and he said the same thing. Mentor.
Yeah.
Mentor.
Yeah.
Vanilla Ace, if I think that Vanilla Ace, house producer. He was saying that his dad and Rodigan, they used to chum up together because they used to collect records and stuff together.
Wicked, man.
Yeah. So
That's
you know,
sick.
and he said the same thing.
Yeah. Like he's so supportive. David is so supportive. You know, whenever I see him on stage, I'm just like that's the business. Do you know what I mean? That's like, you can see the amount of love that he's got for it, and the people love him, and like it's incredible. But yeah, so he invited me to do a tour around Europe with him and the Outlook Orchestra.
Oh, son.
Yeah. So I'm singing 3 tunes, one by Sanchez, one by I'm doing Ganja Farmer as well, which is quite jokes, quite sick, and Dangerous by Conroy Smith. Which is banging. So we did the first show. The first show I did with them guys was 2 months ago at the South Bank Centre in London. My voice was kind of gone because I'd done a lot of recording previous to that, and then I got a cold again. Guys, seasons change. Do you know what I mean?
Talk blues, man.
Yeah. When the sun's up, Bunn's up. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so we did it, and I got a pull up as well because I'm quite near the end of the set. And I came on stage, and I think it was when I started to sing Dangerous, he sort of just jumped up from his seat onto the stage, and just pulled up everything and just
The whole
went,
string section,
and
the whole
just went
thing.
wheel up, yeah, everything. And then we went again. He gave me a massive shout out, and I was like, oh shit, like it was proper sick. So we're doing Outlook and Rotterdam Festival. What's that one in Bristol? The Great Escape? Is that in Brighton or Bristol?
That's Brighton, Great. I think
It's not Great Escape. It's
I think it is.
let me check my
Great
Palm
Escape
Pilot.
is.
But yeah, so it's you know it's
Going down. Hold on 1 second. Pause that.
yeah.
Rude boy.
Is it all good? Love Saves the Day.
Love saves the day.
Yeah, Love Saves the Day we're doing as well. So yeah, man, it's banging.
It's hard when you put into reality the schedule of a tour. You don't realise you're gonna get ill, or you are gonna have to. The navigation of that, from health right way through to being at a place at the right time.
Yeah, for real.
I don't know what side of it is more work, the maintenance or the actual performance.
Yeah. I think, I used to ride a bike, I do now again, but before my deal, I was quite, not skinny, but I was very slim because I'd been riding for years on a track bike. And then, studio time and whatnot, excuses, but I gained quite a bit of weight and sort of just got kind of chubby, but still got game, ladies, still got game. But but yeah, so I recently bought another bike because I was like, no, I need to get in shape, you know what I mean? And I started taking these vitamins and stuff and, eating proper and that and no biscuits.
Yeah, sorry, I'm a biscuit fiend.
I do love the occasional bicky, but yeah, man, I think it is, as a singer as well, use your voice. But I love going out to sound system nights and stuff. And one thing I always forget to do is to not shout, do you want to go to the bar? Like at the top of your lung to your mates, because that can really get, I'm not good at the discipline of not doing that.
Yeah,
but
yeah, me neither.
I think it's getting better, but I still do a little scream in a rave.
Yeah. That's what you want. It comes with the.
Yeah, exactly.
It's music, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
So I find the whole discipline of all that stuff really. I always have done.
Yeah.
Always have done.
Isn't it, man?
I think we have good constitutions considering.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about your stature and there is a brand, man, attached to you. Touring with Rodigan, that kind of makes sense, especially on a nationwide level.
Yeah.
I could see you translating over the States easy. You've got a look, you've got a vibe, you've got
safe, man.
You own it.
Thanks, bro.
I feel that.
Safe, man. Yeah, I'd love to go to America, man. I'm writing a record now, and I think it's long overdue. I had a few singles come out, and a few videos. Did a little tour last year, not last winter, but the winter before, and it was banging. But I think I've done too many shows now where. I don't do all the same music every set. I like to put a couple of new cheeky songs in there. But I think it would be nice to do a whole album tour. Do you know what I mean? With just some fresh stuff, man. So I'd like to, I think, what the plan is, I'll see how it goes, but I think the plan would turn out to be something like releasing a few singles, maybe 2, and see how that goes. And then ideally drop an album after that. And then just do a little tour of it. But yeah, I was sort of slowing down a little bit, just writing tunes in my house and just chilling. And a few months ago I was like, right, I need to do this album, and now I'm I've got a little chunk of it done, and I'm really happy with the new music as well. I feel like I've got a lot to write about now. So
Momentum.
Yeah.
And you've been DJing too.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I collect roots and dub and a bit of Rocksteady, a bit of ska as well. For the past however many, I feel 5 or 6 years or whatever. And I used to just I still do. I love just playing tunes in my house, and my next door neighbour's lovely, so she don't mind. Shout out Pearl, done man.
Shout out, Pearl.
Innit.
Reggae. It subconsciously you want it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So I started doing gigs for mates, and there's a crew called Dubtastics in South London, and Reggae Roast let me come and do a couple
all
things.
these names, man, all these names.
Yeah,
Just go and get online and research that shit.
For real.
Reggae is the source of everything. It's the beginning of everything.
Yeah, exactly, man. So yeah, and then I started doing more and more sets, and now I've got an agent for that side of things as well, which is cool. Yeah, I love playing tunes, and I like getting stuff like white label stuff. There's a label called Fizzle they did a couple remixes of old reggae tunes into like boom bap kind of vibes.
Nice.
Yeah, so there's one tune called Good, Better, Best by Delroy Wilson and Bougie Banton on the Fizzle label. Oh, that will shut down any dance, man. Yeah. I got it on 7-inch, bro.
that.
Bangs. Yeah.
Bangs, eh?
Yeah, bangs. But yeah, man. So, yeah, I like sharing music with people.
I think there's a world of opportunity, like with reggae being it's its own institution, obviously.
Yeah.
But there's a way, and I just feel it. I feel like there's a way in which Kiko Bun will develop the idea. I think maybe further than the songwriting and the music itself. Just feels like with your brand and stuff, and the fact that you can DJ and you're a selector, it just feels like there's a lot of incubated ideas that are building.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm really pleased you jumped on this with me, because it's like
Big
I just
up,
feel
man.
like it's early doors, like something's gonna pop. You know what I mean?
Big up, say.
For real.
Yeah, man. I think there's a lot that I want to do, and the dream would be to go on like Nevermind the Buzzcocks or whatever,
Sort of thing, yeah.
That kind of stuff. Yeah, I like a bit of dark humor and stuff, and all that kind of stuff. I love comedy and all that. And also I've been getting over the years, I've gained that confidence on stage where I like to host my DJ sets, and be a bit silly with it. Like I'm quite I don't I do what I do, and I like to rock a dance, but I like to kind of be like so myself that even if I'm a bit clumsy here and there,
It's all right.
It's cool because the shit that I'm playing bangs, innit? That's what I like to think anyway. But yeah, man, it's all fun, isn't it?
It's a selective. That's it. See, radio DJ vibes.
Yeah. That could be sick one day.
Personality, like you say, Buzzcocks kind of vibe.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see it.
Banging.
Yeah.
Sick.
Totally.
Wicked.
Got early here, innit? What's your family think like about all the kind of shenanigans?
At first, like my mum sort of was like, "Oh, you're getting home late a lot these days, isn't it?" I was like, "Yeah, it's all right there, man. Like, trust me, like it's all good." But she's really supportive, and all my family are really supportive as well. Like they were sort of. I think everyone was quite shocked at first how I think it was one of the first like professional videos that came out, and everyone was like, "Oh shit!"
It was so legit.
Yeah,
But all of them have got like there's a vibe to all of them that's threaded.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, they're all connected in a way. I think. That one in Cuba was like raw, like that's
madness.
Yeah. I think in terms of like future videos and stuff, I'd rather keep it London based, or even if it's not like with a city backdrop or something. I'd rather keep it not basic, but like just a bit more budget, innit? Like I want it to reflect the music, and I think that it's quite easy for the visuals to contradict what the music's saying. But Can't Hold Back was cool, man. That worked fine, and like it was a pleasure to be there, and the people there were lovely, and just being on set was jokes. I think there was one time where we were on some like wicked rows in Havana, and we did a lot of different, how do you call it, like frames per second sort of stuff, where you have to sing quickly and then they slow it back down. Yeah. And so we did a lot of that. So I was singing quite quick, and there were some kids watching me like about to shoot some stuff. And the tune was like, and I was like, "Get on back," and I felt like an idiot. Just they probably were like, "What kind of tune is this?"
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it was a great experience. But I'd like to get a lot more into the sort of. I've been writing like treatments for my own songs recently, and I'd like to maybe not direct, but be quite hands-on with, like the videos and the artistic stuff like that. Because I used to draw and shit like that, and like I've
wicked.
Yeah, I think I've got. I do have ideas, and I think it would be nice for like a song and a video to all come from my head
From start to finish.
Yeah,
Inception to completion.
Yeah.
Man.
I think that'd be quite cool, man. You know, so I'll have a go at that as well. But yeah.
It's a good feeling. The same thing happens with the podcast, man.
Sick.
It's inception to completion.
Yeah,
It's a liberating feeling.
It is,
It's
yeah.
not, you know, labour intensive. At least you know you've dotted the I's and crossed the T's and you've only got yourself to blame.
Yeah. I think like when I've had a couple pints as well, I love drinking beer. Amstel's my favourite. What about you?
You know what? I've really got into Camden Hell. I like Brooklyn beer.
Sick, yeah.
That's my IPA business.
What about Budweiser?
You know what? Budweiser, I can drink lots of it and I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere.
It's like Corona.
Yeah, totally.
You don't feel like you're getting
Yeah,
anywhere.
yeah,
That's jokes, isn't it? For real though.
It's true.
But yeah, like sometimes I'll drink a few beers and then an idea will come. Most of my voice notes on my phone, I come up with bass lines and chord progressions. I kind of, not beatbox, but I sort of do like I can
overdub this and it may sound dope, make it sound fucking heavy.
But yeah, I do stuff like that on my phone and even write jokes sometimes. But like I like to write stuff when I'm feeling zoned. You know, I do a lot when I'm sober. I think I write songs better when I'm sober, but ideas are quite nice when you're either zooted up or like a bit tipsy, I don't know.
Just to clear the mind, you're having fun.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And I think a lot of the time when I'm not drunk, but like 2-3 pints, I'm like, oh, I wish I was in the studio now. But yeah, I don't tend to write drunk or anything like that, but when I'm out, the ideas come and they can come. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Is there anything that comes within in your life that acts as a mental block? Is there anything where you're like, you know, I don't just mean like, I don't mean like a particular drink or drug. I mean like maybe you fall so deep into a relationship and then all of a sudden you procrastinate and you know.
Yeah, I think I write best in the first few hours of waking up. Yeah, because my mind's like clear and I haven't heard any music. Or yeah, also if I don't listen to music like all day, which is hard to believe.
I can't imagine doing that.
It's like a clear sort of canvas, as it were. But I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't think so. I kind of like to flip energies around. Like I went for a little breakup like last year, and you know. I kind of obviously was upset for a couple of weeks, but I sort of used that energy into like. I think it was like a sort of, all right then, well, I'm gonna write a banging tune.
You kind of inject.
I'm gonna, I just, well, I tried to make a banging tune.
Hey, the thing is, you document it. It's at least that energy's been put in something.
Yeah,
else.
exactly, man. Just let it out. It's a good way to do it, man.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool.
Sick.
Yeah, man. It's good, man. It's hearts to hearts over here, man.
Isn't it?
You know what I mean? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave it here.
Sick.
You know what I mean?
Wicked. Thanks for having me, man.
Dude, come.
Bless.
It's been a pleasure. I've been trying to get hold of you for a while.
Sorry about that, man.
Yeah, no, I got you. I got him in the end. Hey, you can't escape the KK, you know. Listen, Killa podcast, live and direct for you funky heads. Kiko.
Big up.
You know what it is.
Bless it up.
Stay lucky.
Yeah, mate. Sick.
See, is that smooth?
That was a good chat, mate.
Yeah.